things they did, all the things they said, keep playing in your head. I see the tears you've cried, and you wonder why. Will it ever end? You don't have to fear, I promise. You will rise again. You will rise again. You will rise again. You will rise again. You're drowning in your pain, covered up with stains, not going anywhere.
I have to cut in this music. So that
Like,
I'll start shedding
I'll just start
tears.
crying like.
As in, Kai.
Nice
You know,
lyrics. Nice,
It was a very
lovely
nice news, and for the
lyrics.
fact
I
that
love
we are
it.
talking about dealing with guilt
Guilt.
is one thing that made God minister to me personally that we should
Wow,
why are you opening your
Prudence,
mouth?
she's taking the glory.
why are you people
Wow.
looking
Excuse
surprised?
you?
I'm lost.
I'm lost.
God ministered to me in a very special way from dream. I was dreaming,
Okay.
so he gave me this vision,
That.
and he was like, Tony, look. I looked.
Mhm.
Tony, you wake up. I woke up.
Mhm.
Look inside Romans chapter. Okay, was it Romans? Okay.
I like this. Romans chapter 1.
Let's drop that. Let's drop that. This is not the essence of the
Oh
show.
my
We will
goodness.
continue this. We will continue this after the show. Must I have to necessarily introduce you guys?
I'll introduce myself, please. My name is Lalas.
It's
And
pro
you
in the
are?
building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, since everybody is introducing themselves, me, I'm Tony Gansky,
Oh, aka.
aka husband material.
Hey, ooh la la.
Excuse me. Well, now I'm regretting ever mentioning that analogy. In what
analogy?
episode was it?
Husband material.
What episode
Oh,
was it?
don't
That
I
no,
look
no.
And look at what I'm dressed.
Oh,
Look at
shit,
how I'm dressed,
badass.
oh.
Ooh, it's not. It's,
Stop looking at me. Stop
as
looking at me. I know
as
I'm,
my
I know
family,
I'm entering your
as my
eyes. Stop
family
looking at me.
members will say, it's not by that one.
It's by what?
It's
Well,
not by that one.
let's drop all of this and let's dive into the topic of the day,
Mm-hmm.
which has to do with dealing with guilt. And if we are to look at our society contemporarily, I don't think it's even contemporary. Even
It's
back
a
in the
society
days.
thing.
Are you living in a society?
Yeah, but like dealing with guilt is a society thing.
It's based on an individual.
I think it's an individual.
I
thing.
said living in our society right now. We
Mm.
have. I was not even done talking what I was.
I just
about
asked the
saying.
question. Sorry.
So in our
No
Ah,
first.
don't
These two
No
people.
first.
interrupt me
No
again.
first.
These two people, I'm in
first.
your
Now I was
midst
led by the spirit.
again.
Now you are trying to come
Please
in
don't
between
take
me and
away
my
the
spirit.
spirit. The spirit.
The spirit.
God, let's continue. So,
God.
so, so looking at our society today,
Mhm.
like we have a lot of people that are depressed, a lot of things, like things that they've done in the past, some of the sins, some of the bad things that they got themselves involved, and then coming back to reality, coming back to the regret and all of that, it is downing, like it is really downing on them, and it is affecting them even physically and then spiritually. And this is why I feel we should deliberate on it, talk about it. Let's talk how we can deal with stuffs like this, so that even if we happen to be a victim of this circumstance, we will be able to struggle or fight our way out of it. Personally, I'm not done yet. I am the one-
just-
I am the
I
one
just-
anchoring
I
the
just
ship.
want to
Finally,
say
I'm not
something.
done yet.
Wait. Just an addition. I love the background you're coming from, and I love it. I love the way what you just said. However, I just wanted to add this.
Okay.
So, a lot of times when we talk about dealing with guilt, the first thing that comes to your mind is that this person actually did something wrong,
Sure.
and this person is feeling guilty about it.
Mm.
How about the situation where you think that you have done something wrong and
Well,
you're
you-
living in the guilt?
Mm.
That's
know-
a situation that
the
a
thing
lot
is-
of people, more than
Yeah.
you can count, are dwelling on.
You know, the thing
True.
is, it's something for you to have done something, and then you coming out publicly
To say you've
accepting
done
the fact that you
Mhm.
actually do it, or
Yeah,
you did
yeah.
it rather. You know, that kind of feeling of what you get after is what the problem is, because at that point in time, people may even feel sorry for you.
Mhm.
People may even be even praising God for the fact that you're able to come out from that life and all of that. But then the rumors, the talks, the gossips, everything that go afterwards, that's what affects people. Because
You-
it's going to be difficult for you to even walk past some group of people
and they'll
without
say
them
something
not
past
talking about
words,
you.
gestures about you. The truth
I,
of
I
it.
get that, but where I'm coming from is this, and as much as that you coming out and giving out your story or telling people that you were doing this and you're coming out of it, and all the likes of it, it's actually, you can actually be easily stigmatized.
Mm.
However, where I'm coming from is this. You really didn't do anything wrong, but you have been living with guilt. For me, that is more serious because you don't come out to say it to people.
Mhm.
Mm.
It's really detrimental to your health, your
Wait, let me get something
society.
straight. Like, you actually didn't do anything,
You just think
but
that
then
you
you are
do
feeling
wrong.
guilty.
Yes.
Oh.
For instance, you were in an accident.
Mm.
I'm not saying,
We
I'm not
understand
wishing
in
that on
assumption.
anybody, but assume, and I've seen a lot of people like that. You were in an accident, and a better example, something that is happening in our contemporary environment right now, the guilt of surviving.
Mhm.
You are in the community, and this community is ravaged by this gun, all those herdsmen and
Herdsmen.
the bandits,
Mm.
and it's ravaged. Your whole family is gone. You're the one that is surviving. You live in guilt. You continue to let that guilt to eat you up.
Mm.
That's a guilt too.
Mhm.
True. True.
So there are a whole lot of scenarios of guilt, even apart from what I'm talking about. There's also the fact where you're coming from. Maybe I've been doing pornography, for instance, or maybe I've slept around with more guys than I
Mm.
can count,
Mhm.
or maybe I was just a robber.
Mm.
Regardless what it is, those are a lot of other things that could lead you to think, okay, I did something wrong. I'm living in the wrong. I should not be living. I should not be doing this thing. I should not be who I am. I should not be where I am. All those are the feelings of guilt.
What if you accuse someone wrongly?
Okay, that's one thing too. Yeah.
That's too.
True.
Very right.
You
Like,
continue living with that guilt.
Do you understand? Like, okay, for instance, let's say something is missing, and then I'm like, Prudence took it, and then I'll just meet Tony. I'm like, Prudence took the phone. No, like, do you understand?
Mm.
Now I didn't see Prudence doing that. Now I just accused her,
Mm.
and then later on we now realize that
She
it wasn't
wasn't the
Prudence.
one.
Maybe the phone fell,
And then you didn't even.
and
see
then
it.
I didn't even see it. Do you understand? Now I'll start feeling bad. Now how do I get away from that?
It's
Mm.
easy.
Even when I ask Prudence for forgiveness, and then she's like, it's fine. But like,
Then you
okay,
see, you see that
personally,
you've probably made a, you've changed the whole of our day. Like,
Do
you've
you
changed our
understand?
mood.
Now,
someone
Prudence
will
is not
say
happy.
Quenya will not let
Could-
you be.
do you understand? Like somebody like me, I won't even be comfortable. I won't want to see Prudence for the whole of that day.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because I know what
You've
I
spoiled
did
her-
to
you've
her. Do
spoiled
you
her.
understand? Like, I don't know. It's not everybody that has this feeling of conscience, like clear conscience. It's not
Mm.
everybody. But then I feel like if you're going to deal with guilt, then you should accept the fault at first. If you accept I did this thing and it's wrong, then you forget about what other people will say. Now we're dealing with it. Now if you pass through, maybe let's say where you meet a lot of people, and then maybe let's know that, okay, I was a prostitute before. God forbid, I was not.
We know you were not. So
Okay, and then I changed. Do you understand? Now a lot of people in that environment already knew in their head, or rather they've seen me with different men, and then they've seen me with the kind of outfit that they know this is good evening, ma. You know what it means, yes. Or
Oh
good
boy,
evening,
Black,
sir.
you should say
Sir.
never run on because
Yeah.
me, I don't even. I
Like,
don't even
no,
know
but
that
like
the-
it's in
that
the
grace will be
evening
there.
now. It happens.
It's
do you
actually
understand?
called
It's actually-
Naomi allergy.
So
Okay.
then, and then I just decided, okay, or maybe someone would just be like, you're not supposed to be doing this. Like, you need to stop. Now I took it upon myself to change. Now I want to do my business in order to get the income I want, in order to take care of myself and maybe my family. Now, a lot of people already know that this girl is a prostitute, or rather she was. Now if they see me passing, maybe I'm going to church, they'll be like, she will go to church now, later she will come back and then she will go and meet her men again. Do you understand? Now how do you pass all these things? One, I feel most times, but if you accept, I said, but I feel if you accept
it's
it in the
permitted
beginning, do you
on
understand?
defect.
Thank you very much. If you accept it, like, okay, fine, I'm a changed person, then forget about any other thing.
You know,
Forget about what
that's a
people
very
say.
huge bold for
Do
you
you
to come out
understand?
plain.
That's what I said. You should
accepting
own up
as
to
yes,
it.
you owning up to the fact that you've done something wrong.
That
That's
is
a
the
very
first
bold
step.
and that's the first step.
Yeah.
step.
So whatever it is
And
that is
if-
going to come, you can
if you can
actually
own up, if you can
forget
own
about
up,
it.
if you can own up to a fault publicly, then you should know that whatever thing that comes afterwards,
You're ready for it.
You are ready for it.
You're on your way
Simple.
to healing.
Thank you.
Because
You're on your
one,
way to healing.
one thing is, you not even coming out to accept it boldly will even haunt you the more.
You know,
Because you are
understand?
giving people the room to say whatever thing that they want to say about you.
you know the medicine guys do this thing, and I'm saying it's medicine guys because they are them.
You've
okay.
dated
You know
one
them.
before. No, I
I'm
just
anyway,
want
we're
to
not
be
talking
sure.
about. Excuse
So I will know your source. So I will know your source now.
Excuse me, we're not talking about dating
Okay,
here.
okay.
But yeah, I do have
Truth don't dey
Take
come
the-
out. No, you know, if you want,
Okay.
if you want talk lie.
Like that, I don't
You
like
get
this attack prudence. I don't like it. I'm sorry.
Well,
I don't know what I did on
continue.
this end.
Well,
Okay.
continue.
So I do have relatives and friends that did that are
Treated.
in the medical line. But then that aside, that's not from them. It's from actually the number of times I've gone to the hospital to
Greet
treat
them. Okay.
chiwo
What's true?
injury. So you find that at most of the times, I think last time was something step on my toes and I had a cut and they had to remove the layer up so that they would treat
Treat
it from the inside. My point now is that a lot of times for you to have healing
Hmm.
from the medical side of
Understand from
it,
the inside.
you find that they try as much as possible to make sure that you're healing from the inside
Hmm.
before it comes out. And in order for you to heal from the inside, they peel out. They try as much as possible to peel out
The
the
surface.
so that the inside will get enough oxygen that it needs to heal. That's how life is.
You know, talking about
You
talking
need to
about
peel out the negativities. You need to
I have
peel
this-
out the injuries
I have
to
this story.
accept
I have this
and
story
be
to
healed.
tell. The this happened in our locality down there, and this particular story is related to a boy. Actually, he happens to be a pastor's son, like the first child. So the guy is a very young guy. I think he should be between the ages of 25 thereabout now or 24. So the dad died of recent. He's a man of God. He's a reverend, and he died of recent. Then just after few months, he was caught digging stuffs. Like he was caught on the graveyard, caught digging bones, like all these dead bodies, bones, and all of
Wow.
that.
Okay. A pastor's son.
The pastor's son.
You say ritualist?
That was what he wanted to do.
Wow.
That was what he wanted to do.
Okay.
So immediately when he was caught, there was nothing he could do, of course, and then he was being sentenced to prison.
Whoa.
Now, supposing this guy is now free, or probably he exhausted his time in the prison and all of that, and then he came back to the society, how do you think this guy will feel?
Sure.
Like,
You
even because of that guilt, I am very sure he may not even want to come back to the society because of
Psychologically,
what
he's
people will say about
True,
him.
because a lot of people will even want to run away from him.
Because
And
he disappointed
Everybody, of course, even his dad to start with
You
as
that
a
your
pastor.
dad just died out like few months
Months.
ago. What would prompt you to doing something as such as
He wants
that?
to make money like ASAP. Like that's the problem. But then the thing is, we fail to understand that when we are able, or rather when we accept what we have done in the past, then it means we are ready to heal and ready to move on and not do it again. If you're ready to peel out that thing, you're ready to say, okay, fine, I did this before and I'm not going to do it again. Forget about what people say. I'll emphasize on this because people in your society will want to bring you down.
Of course.
They will want to say
Put
a
you
lot
down,
of things to you, but then you need to practice not to. You need to deal with distractions.
You see one way that we could easily deal with guilt is to um before I say the point. A lot of times you've heard that people will say the Bible is written with illustrations of a lot of other people who have been in the same shoes as you have been, and how they got out of it, or how it brought them to their end. Two people I'm going to use for instance. See David. David feeling like a king that he is, I mean he was. Big man,
With
strolling on his balcony.
on his roof.
He just sighted this beautiful lady and decided,
I want her
what's
for
the
myself.
harm? What's the harm? And then the next thing we know,
It happened. It's up.
she's pregnant.
He's up.
And the next thing we know, she's pregnant. And the next thing we know, he kills
Her
the
husband.
husband. And the next thing we know, here's
He
a
married
prophet.
married the woman.
No, here's a prophet first. Let's talk about that's where I'm heading to.
Okay.
Here's the prophet. A lot of times people read this story and don't understand the stigma that comes with it. So imagine you as a lady, I'm talking to Lalas this time around,
Please,
that
she's
you
talking
were
to
in
me.
that
So I should
shoes.
turn I should turn my
I'm
chair
just
backwards.
saying, I'm not saying, I'm just saying, imagine you were in this lady's shoes. Yes, he did marry you and bring you to the palace,
Palace.
and you're like the queen. But remember, every other person in the palace and in the kingdom
know
know
what happened.
that you slept
Not
with
to
this
the
man
king.
before your husband died.
Wow.
See the stigma
Wow.
and the guilt.
And you think it's not happening even in our society today.
It was a draining scenario. It was a draining scenario.
Sure.
But you know the end of it for David, it was this. That David confessed his sins, did not go back to
To
them.
read again.
I believe Bathsheba did something similar, because how else would God just decide to compensate her with giving her son the throne?
True.
But you know, it to me it's even
So
easy.
I'm just saying
It's
that's
easy.
that's
It's easy
one
for him
angle
to.
of it. The second part of it, you talked about what was it? Giving false testimony. Our brother Judas
Judas Iscariot, my guy.
You
Iscariot.
say Iscariot. Did you say Judas
Oh, so
Iscariot?
because I the enter prudence now, you want to enter.
Yeah,
me back.
but okay, Judas Iscariot. Okay.
Lalas, I will knock you on this shoe.
Okay, so our brother Judas Iscariot. I'm not so sure I should call him that though. But this guy, feeling big guy as he is, wanted cold money, easy cash. He said, what's the
Fast
harm? I'm
money.
just going to tell them that this is the man now. That's all. So I want to think that he did not realize
Well,
the
he wa-
extent
yeah.
to which these guys were.
He
going
was
to
driven
do
by
this.
money.
I want to believe that, because he just decides, okay, I'm just going to go and kiss this guy and show you people
Then
that this is
that's
who he
it.
is. If you can catch him,
You
and
get
that's
the
all.
money.
And then he goes ahead and does that. Then Jesus dies.
Then at the end of it all,
Then Judas did not even wait for the 3 days.
he had
Yes,
to
and
go and
then
commit suicide.
He
committed
could not
suicide.
live with the guilt. See, that's the difference.
And that's what so many people are facing today.
Yes.
So many people they can't deal with
They
their
can't deal
guilt.
with
They
it.
keep
Everybody
dwelling.
has a
They keep
different
not
dwelling. They
easy
keep
to
dwelling.
deal
They keep
with it.
dwelling in their guilt. And one thing about guilt is, if it happens that you've done something wrong in the past, one of the things that you should do after, accepting publicly that you've done it, is for the fact that you stop whatsoever thing that will make you reflect back to that thing that you did in the
Simple.
past.
Don't go back to it again.
Whatsoever thing that will
Retrace
give you
yourself.
every reason
Make amends.
that will make you see reason, or anything that
For
will
you
give
to
that
go back
scenario
into
of
it
going back
again.
to that life. Try as much as possible to neglect such
Let's say, for
thoughts.
instance, you have bad friends that you know will always influence you into doing things, and you know you don't want to do them. Like, I remember when I was in school. God. Like,
is this some confession time?
no, it's just prudence.
What did you do?
Wow,
that-
you want to enter
So
me
wait,
too?
wait. Let
It
me
was
even
just-
ask you. Are we
that
saying?
was an
Wait, are we
innocent
saying?
question.
Are we saying we have never been guilty of anything of which we are still
No,
dealing
no,
with?
no,
Ah,
no.
I have.
No, a lot of
I
times.
have. That's
See,
the truth.
in fact, mine is a very funny one, because I did. I had a lot of crushes in secondary school. Wow!
Hmm.
Oh my goodness, lots and lots, and I do write a lot of.
Love
Just-
stories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
I
told
just
me
write
this
down-
yesterday.
I just write them down, and I just write them down. Yeah, but I refuse to use anybody's name.
Name.
So you can never know that it was you. Thank you very much. I
So
appreciate
continue.
it.
This kind of story I dey like. Continue.
You like stories?
So you were crushing, and what happened?
So, from all my write-ups and all that. Mm. And I did know that some of the things I said in those write-ups are not right. Though I knew
That's a
it.
PK,
Okay.
ba.
But
That's a PK.
but I didn't hear, like, I didn't mind it. I was just writing. I felt like, oh no, these are just my emotions. I'm just writing them out. It doesn't.
Do you
really
still have
matter.
that book?
No.
Okay.
And then
What do you
the
want to do with it?
and the book got to
I
the
want
boys'
to.
hostel.
Oops.
Damn.
Okay,
Wow.
so you can imagine how I was thinking. I was like, wow,
Who has
what if
seen
this
it?
person reads it? I'm thinking that it's him. What if this person knows that it's
Casted.
him?
Like, I'm casted.
So-
Like,
So what was disturbing me more was not the fact that that letter had gone to the boys' hostel. It was more the fact that people would know that I wrote that. People would know that this is from
Busted.
Prudence mind.
mm,
That was what was going on in my head. I was thinking,
I understand.
and I'm in a Christian school. Yay.
What do I do?
So, what do I do? What if
I
what if
blame
this
you.
lands in the teacher's hands?
Or
What if
principal
what if?
himself.
So but then I got to the point of like, oh, so you wrote it, so even if it gets to, you just take the blame.
So what?
and
Life goes on. Like, do you
But-
understand?
So
But
how did you,
that's it.
was that how you dealt
That's how
with
I
it?
dealt with it.
Okay.
I
It's
just
like, do you
decided to tell
understand?
myself that
I know-
life goes on.
I know it's very difficult for you to deal with guilt, especially when it's something that maybe, let's say, the gravity
The
of
gravity
it
is serious.
It's huge. It's
Okay,
disappointing.
something happened in my house, and my dad was really mad at me because I did something, and I was trying to hide it, and then he found out.
You casted.
So then
You
I know,
self-cast.
I know, I know what my dad can do. But then, do you know? Like, I know he will scold me, he will shout, he will say everything he wants to say. But do you know he didn't say anything? Like, he kept quiet. Like, I'll just greet him, and then he just like,
And then
how
you,
are
he
you?
will
Like,
leave you in that
do you understand?
suspense.
That's
Like,
worse,
I was,
that's
oh
worse.
Lord. Do you know, I had to just go, and then I just knelt down. I was like, Daddy, I did this thing. I am sorry. Please. Like, because, do you understand? Do you know what it means?
Or maybe
Like-
that was what he actually wanted you to do. And that was why he was quiet all
Of
through.
course, no,
That's what
because
it is.
He
the
wanted
thing
you to
is,
admit to that
he's
fact
playing
that
with
you
But
did
you do
it.
know
everybody,
that
and then he wasn't playing with
interestingly,
me.
that's how God reacts sometimes.
True.
He just goes
He
silent.
wants us to
on
come
you.
back.
And then he wants you to
ourselves
come back,
apologize
yes, and
confess our
apologize.
sins.
But the thing is, in case you are dealing with guilt, no matter how it is, so far as you tell yourself, so far as you let it out, you tell someone, or you are ready not to do it again, then it means you're willing to give up on that thing, and then you want to live right. Then you should not let anyone distract you or what people say behind you. Just walk with your shoulders high because you have Jesus. And then he gave you that
I'm
opportunity.
feeling it.
He gave you that opportunity
Pastor
to be
Rhino.
to be able to say it, and then so you cannot do it again. Don't go back to it again. Just forge ahead and then just
Yeah.
do the right thing.
And
That's all.
And
Please.
as
Okay.
I said, just as I said earlier, that's how God does with us sometimes. He just lets us be on our own, and he goes silent on us. And do you know what happens when he lets you go on your own and he goes
No,
silent
ma.
on
No,
you?
ma. Tell me.
Is that
Talk to me.
things don't work out the way you think they would,
True.
because he is no longer by your side.
Hmm.
Somebody gave this interesting analogy. He said, it's like God lets you go to the desert, to the wilderness. He leaves you in the wilderness. Then later on, he comes and starts toasting you again. Let's do this relationship all over.
True.
And the moment that you have said, this is it, this is what I'm living with, I've poured my burden to you, this is it, take all of it, he wipes it. He said, even if your sin is as red as scarlet, he will
Make
make
it
it as
white as snow.
No, Prudence. You know,
My
as much
God.
as I want you to continue this sermon, I will
Wow.
I will have,
Lord.
I will have,
I'm sorry.
I will have to stop you because we are we are against time a lot already. So for the fact that we're already against the time, I would want us to end the show. But then, can you just hit up that button for us?
Yeah.
Let's
Of
continue.
Let's do
course.
enjoy that song again. It speaks a lot. You would rise again.
Have a choice. Just listen to my voice. If this is not the